I'm going to give you a little explanation and a sneak peek onto our Dungeons and Dragons game that Cody, Dave, and Austin, Mr. Hanakna, are going to start. I have not been a dungeon master before, and I've only played Dungeons and Dragons with the Drunken Arcanauts crew, but it was fun, and Dave, Cody, and Austin I roped Austin into it, but Dave and Cody have expressed interest in doing this, so we're going to give it a shot. And what we're going to do first is we'll record it, I think. I don't know that we'll live stream it, but we'll record it. We're doing it. It'll be Sunday, October 20th, so this should be up tomorrow too, this video. But I don't want it to go out in advance so that they know what's going on. We'll record it and record the audio at least, and then we'll play. Cody's going to be in the studio for that. I still don't have another camera to put on him. Maybe he'll bring one with him. And what we're going to do, I'm going to give them some of the basics, the ground rules of what Dungeons and Dragons is, how it's played, what dice you roll. So that'll be, if you're new to it, you can learn some of that too as we learn and go through it. And then I'll give them a sample scenario. So the sample scenario will be that they are all going on a trip together, but first they all have to go to the grocery store together. And they've each got their own list of what they need to pick up. But when they get to the grocery store, they go in, all three of them go inside. The door's open. There is music playing. The lights are all on. And they don't see a single other person in the store. There's not a customer in sight. There's not an employee in sight. What do you do? So that's the explanation, because Dungeons and Dragons is just collaborative storytelling. So the game master, the dungeon master, sets something up, says this is where you are and this is what's going on. And you can ask questions, or you can roll perception or insight, things like this, to figure out what's happening, or just go explore and see what's up. And then you help tell the story as a player based on what your player sheet is and who you encounter. If it's somebody that's going to try to attack you or something like this. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow. Now, the actual campaign that I've set up is a little bit different than that. I'm still working on it. I'll do it more tomorrow as well. I'll work on it before we actually start tomorrow as well. But the actual campaign will be more along the lines of two kind of storylines. So they'll be in a car going on a road trip together, all three of them, without their wives, because all three are married. They're all going on a road trip somewhere. They're all riding in Cody's car, one of Cody's cars. Cody's cars are notoriously bad. And by bad, I mean they break down regularly. So they'll be going in one of Cody's cars. The car breaks down, and they have to decide what they're going to do. They can see the sign for a motel, maybe a mile and a half away. They're going to walk there. What are they going to do? Maybe somebody will decide to try to make a phone call on their cell phone. There won't be service. So they have to either walk to the motel, try to flag a car down and wait for that to happen, something like that. If they decide to walk toward the motel, whether or not they decide to walk to the motel, I'm going to have somebody interact with them, jump out of the bushes and say, hey, what you doing? Where are you going? And they'll interact with him. And depending on what they choose, they may have to fight him. And depending on what they choose, they may either have to fight him or they'll go with him where he's going to go. If they choose not to go with him, then they'll fight him and go toward the motel. If they choose to go with him, they'll ultimately end up fighting him, but he'll be a stronger character at that point. It'll be a more difficult interaction. And then we'll find out where we go from there. So there's a couple of things that I'm setting up. If you listen to that, which will be on Patreon, we'll post it. If you listen to that, you'll see where I'm headed with that. I kind of want to flush it out a little bit more because there's not a whole lot that I have yet. And I don't want it to take like 10 minutes and then it's over. So I have some more thought to put into it, but I'll flesh that out a little more tomorrow. And maybe we'll just go on the fly and see where we go from there if they work it out. So that's where we are, and that's what we're doing tomorrow. And this is just your quick little Patreon bonus video since I haven't done one in a little bit, and you're all giving me money for Patreon, so I owe it to you. Thank you.